come off, pull it off, just rub it until you find the part that it pull that off. You just keep doing that the whole strand of the chitlin. Sometimes you can get some clean ones, not as dirty, none of them are clean, but they don't be as dirty as some brand. And it's easier to clean, to pull off that thin layer. I guess it's called membranes. I don't know what it's called, but you pull it off. You make sure that you do. Make sure, see how that's separated? Make sure you pull all of that off. Don't leave none of it. None. And sometimes you can't see it. And what I do is, once I clean them, I go over them again. Then once I do that, I'll boil them so it can look like a piece of meat. You can really see if you left anything on them. So you kind of boil them after the fact. So that's pretty clean. Haven't left any membrane on it. So add a little water to it. And you look down your whole strand. Make sure that you've got it all. Okay, that's clean. You grab another piece. You find your opening and find your spot to start. Get your spot. There you go. Pull that off. See how that separates? That's exactly where it's supposed to be. Pull it off until you don't have any more. See how that separates? Pull it off. All the way down. All the way down. And you run it over some water. See if anything flies or you miss anything. If not, that one's pretty clean. It's a done deal. Get you another one. Same thing. Find your spot. And you start to separate. See that? Start to separate. Pull apart. Pull it apart. Like I said, sometimes you get a good one and it'll pull the whole length of the chitlin. Sometimes it'll break. And if it break, you just pull that off until it's all the way off. Then you go back up. Find where it broke at. Broke right there. Pull that off. See, start where it broke. It pulls it. See, comes right off. Comes right off. So that's the tutorial of how to clean a chitlin properly. Pull that off. Pull it all the way off. So run you some water on it. Make sure you got it all. If it didn't, like I said, it'll show because it'll flap. Little piece of skin, it'll show you where it is. Okay, that's clean. Put it in your bowl. Grab you another one. Same thing. Find your spot. Get the edge. Pinch it. Pull it off. See how it comes off? Separate it. Separate the two. Pull it off all the way to the end. All the way to the end. Pull it off. And again, as I say, run some water over it to make sure you didn't leave anything. If you did, it'll show. Get you another piece. Same thing. Find your starting point. Pull it apart. Pull it apart. Pull it apart. Like I said, sometimes they'll break. Sometimes they won't. But if they break, just complete the part where it's broke like that. Pull it off. Go on down the length of the chitlin. Pull it off. There you go. Pull it off. Pull it off. That's the cleaning of a chitlin. Got to make sure you get all of that off. Sometimes you got to find you another starting point at another end. Pull that off. Put it under some water so you can see it. Pull it off. There we go. Take it through the water again. Make sure you've got it all. Look it over. It's good. Put it in your bowl. Okay, let's start another one. Okay. Pull it. See how that going? Pull that apart. See how you pull that apart? You got one, the garbage is in the right hand, your chilling is in the left. Pull it apart. See, this is your garbage. This is the slime. That's the garbage. This is your chilling. This is your clean chitlins. Now this is a prime example of a nasty chitlin. See all of that fat on there? Some people just pull that off. Just pull that off. They pull that fat off and they think that chitlin is clean. No, it's not. No, you got to find your spot and you got to separate the two. As I said, separate the two. I don't know why some people think that you're supposed to leave that fat on, but no. That comes off. That slime comes off. Make sure you get it off, because if not, you're going to have a pot full of grease, and that's a tell sign that you have not cleaned them chitlins. If you open that lid up and that pot is full of grease on top, you have not cleaned them chitlins properly. So make sure you get all of that off. I really wish I had a real nasty, ugly one, but these are pretty clean. Not clean as far as eating, but they're pretty clean as far as cleaning. They're not real dirty and nasty like some of them you can buy be. Okay, now we're getting down to one that's real nasty. Look at that. See all that fat, all that ugliness? Look at all that. It's just nasty. Well, I say nasty in the sense that it shouldn't be there. So what you do is, as I said, you find your spot where to separate for you. Yeah, this one here is pretty gunky. See all that fat? Look at that. The whole length of it is nothing but fat. See that? So you have to find your spot to separate it. There we go. Now see how it's coming apart? That's what you're supposed to do. This is a good one to demonstrate. See that? And I like it because it's going the length of the chitlin. And see all that fat? That's fat. That's garbage. You don't leave that on there. Pull it all the way down. All the way down. Pull it all the way. All the way down. And sometimes you got to go back and get the little pieces that break. So you pull it all the way down the length of the chitlins. That's the end of that one. All the way down. All the way down. There we go. See? Now look at that. That's garbage. See all them fat knobs on there? Garbage. This is your clean chitlin. Run it up under the water to make sure that you got it all. That's a long one. These are kinds I like to clean. They're long. Easier to clean. Now that's the chitlin that's nasty. Okay, now I kind of fast forward. This is the chitlin that I cleaned. And it's got a lot of grease on it. Which, as I say, you have to go back, let them cook a little bit, so you can go back and see if you left anything on there. It's mostly grease. The chitlin is fairly clean. This way you can really hold on to it. It's more or less looking like a piece of meat now versus this being raw. See the difference? That's raw. This is more thicker. This is kind of thin. This is thick. This is a half cooked one, not half cooked, but pre-cooked. This is a clean chitlin before cooked. But as I said, you cook them so you can have some hold to it, where it starts to look like a piece of meat. And you just go back over, do the same thing. take it underwater. Make sure you have not left any pieces of fat on it. Go over real good. That's, to me, how chitlins should be cleaned. Because sometimes you can clean them and you can't see everything because it's still slimy, so to speak. But when it's cooked, pre-cooked, you see how thick it kind of gets, starting to look like a piece of meat, and you can see what's on it. And I'm going to tell you what I do with mine. Sometimes, like I said, once you cook them, you can kind of see little grit at the end of them. So I take me a pair of scissors and I cut up the edges of them. Some people tell me I clean them too good, but I don't like nothing on mine. And you see how I'm snipping the edges? That's just the way I do it. Now, you don't have to do this. It's time consuming, sure enough. That's why I like to clean mine prior to the event that they're going to be ate at. But I go down and I just snip the edges, because sometimes, like I said, can be some little grit that's stuck to it that you can't see in your ordinary cleaning. So to satisfy me as an eater of chitlins, I just like to know for sure that mine are clean. And when you eat mine, you're going to know they're clean by just what I'm showing you that I do with mine. And I do this on every chitlin that I clean. Now, the chitlin go through my house that I don't go up and double check, triple check, make sure that it's clean, nothing's on it. That's just me. And that's just the way chitlins should be clean. You just can't take the stuff off and think they're clean, because they're not. Now, that's a clean chitlin. Pre-cooked, so to speak, where you can hold it, where you can't see anything. I personally, I don't put black pepper in my chitlins or nothing black, because I want to know that anytime I see something black, to me, it's something that's been left on that chitlin. So if you want black pepper on yours, you can put it on there after you get them out my pot. And that's just the way I roll. This is a perfectly clean chitlin. And then after this, I will put it back into the pot, boil them, let them cook until they're done. I will rinse them off about 2 or 3 times to get that grease off of them, because they're going to be greasy regardless of how you clean them, but they're more greasy when you don't clean them properly. But you start to cook them once you clean them, and once you go through that second look, once you do the pre-cook, you put them back in the pot, let them boil, rinse them off a couple times. Then that's when you put your seasoning in. And at that point of putting your seasoning in, you'll know for sure that nothing has risen to the top of that pot. You don't see no grit, no grime. So at that point, you know you can start seasoning your chitlins. And people season them different ways, but the best thing to me in cooking them chitlins is putting a bay leaf or 2 in them. That bay leaf gives this chitlin just a good flavor like no other flavor. Bay leaves are a good seasoning. Whole bay leaves are good seasoning to season chitlins. Some people say they don't have a taste. Oh, they have a taste if you season them right. If you don't season them right, no, it's just a bland piece of meat. Just like if you fry a piece of chicken. You don't season, just put some flour on it. Just a fried piece of chicken with no seasoning. But that's my tutorial of cleaning the chitlin, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed, and hope that you can clean the chitlin now. Have a good holiday. Bye.